Hi, good day everyone. For this topic we will learn on the catalog, whereby at the end of the topic you should be able to know several functions of catalog and identify elements in bibliographic records. Here are the overview of this topic. It consists of 3 parts. Part 1 is on definition and purpose of catalog. Part 2 will discuss on bibliographic records and Part 3 is on elements of bibliographic records. For this video we will focus on Part 1 first before we move to Part 2 and 3 in the next video. So what is in Part 1? As stated former, it will focus on the definition and purpose of catalog. Furthermore, we will also explore on library catalog, cataloging and cataloging tools. What is catalog? Catalog is a systematic listing of the books and materials in a library with descriptive information about author, title, edition, publisher, date, physical appearance, subject matter, special features, and location. There are several formats of catalog and they are card catalog, book catalog, microfiche catalog and online catalog, or so-called the OPAC or online public access catalog. For your information, library catalog created using cataloging tools and contain the same essential bibliographic information. There are 3 purposes of catalog. The first one is to enable a person to find a book of which either author, title or subject is known. From the picture given, the title of the book is Sally Sore Loser, a story about winning and losing. The author consists of Frank J. Cilio and Carrie Pillow, while the subject are children's stories and sportsmanship fiction. The second purpose of catalog is to show what the library has by a given author, on a given subject or in a given literature. From the example, you may see the library has different numbers of items by subject. And finally, the purpose of catalog is to assist in a choice of a book as to its edition or character. The picture shows example of edition on each title. For example, the national newspaper The Star with a Southern edition. Now, let's have a look what it is on library catalog. There are bibliographic records, classification numbers and subject headings. In bibliographic records, there are records on statement of responsibility, title, publisher, place of publication, date of publication and many more. We will look on this in detail in Part 2 and 3. How about classification number? Classification number indicates the location of the material. From the catalog, you may see the classification number of that book entitled, Designing a School Library Media Center for the Future, is Z675, S3E75, 2007. What is subject headings then? Subject headings determines the subject of the material. From the catalog, it has several subjects such as, subject number 1, is Instructional Material Centers, United States, Design and Construction. Each item in library may consist of 1 or more subject headings, depends on the title and content of the item. Now let's move to cataloging. Cataloging is preparing bibliographic information for catalog records. Catalogers in library uses a set of cataloging tools, which are the agreed international rules and standards. Catalogers will first prepare a description of an item, assign the item with subject headings, and finally, determine a shelf location by using a classification system. In cataloging, it consists of descriptive cataloging, subject cataloging and classification. What is descriptive cataloging? Descriptive cataloging describes an item, identifies access points and formats access points, using AACR, and appropriate name authority files. What is subject cataloging? Subject cataloging determines subject headings for an item, which represents the subject of the work, in words and/or phrases. What is classification? Classification determines a classification number for an item, which represents the subject of the work, in a number and/or letters, and provides a location for an item in a collection. Finally, we are coming to the end of Part 1. Here, it highlights on cataloging tools. Cataloging tools for descriptive cataloging are Anglo-American Cataloging Rules 2nd edition revised, and Resource Description and Access. Meanwhile, cataloging tools for subject cataloging are Sears List of Subject Headings, and Library of Congress Subject Headings. And lastly, cataloging tools for classification are Dewey Decimal Classification Scheme, Library of Congress Classification Scheme, and Universal Decimal Classification Scheme. It is the end of Part 1. See you in the next video, for Part 2 and 3, to continue discuss on the topic of catalog. Thank you for your attention. If you have any query, please do not hesitate to reach for your instructor. Goodbye.